Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm out the range sighting in my new pig hunting rifle. I just recently returned from Texas where I was hanging out with my friend Todd Huey from Lone Star Boars, and I learned a lot about pig hunting from him. Previously, last year we had gone down to Georgia. I had used a 7.62 by 39 Mutant to do a lot of pig hunting. Great rifle, great results. A 7.62 by 39 puts those pigs down hard. But I really took an interest in the rifle that Todd was using. He was using an LWRC SIX8 chambered in 6.8 SPC. Prior to hanging out with Todd, I really didn't give 6.8 much consideration. I never had an interest in it when it was really hot in the early 2000s. Today, some folks consider it something of a dead cartridge, being replaced by things like 6.5 Grindle, which can shoot a slightly heavier bullet at a little bit higher velocity. But the 6.8 is far from dead. And one reason I wanted the 6.8 over the 6.5 Grindle was because of the rifle. LWRC sells the 6.8, which I have here, so when I got home I had to pick one up. I really was impressed with Todd's rifle. I've always liked LWRC rifles. I liked the fact that I could get the full ambi lower, all the features of the standard M6 type rifles that LWRC sells, except chambered in 6.8. And again, this gun is built around that cartridge. Now the 6.8, which I have here, is very similar to the 5.56, only in overall length. So here they are side by side. You can see they're similar in overall length, but unlike cartridges like the 300 Blackout, the 6.8 isn't just a necked up 5.56 case. It's a new cartridge. It's bigger in diameter and has a larger head on it. Now this is a standard PMag. The 6.8 will fit into a standard PMag, although you'll find bullet seating depth is critical because it can start to bind up. As you can see how the round just kind of popped out. It's less than ideal, okay? You can use them in a standard PMag, but the 6.8 has its own proprietary magazine, again, that Magpul has developed for it, which I have here in my right hand. So you can see it's a slightly bigger magazine, it's thicker than the standard PMag, and the geometry is such that it feeds the 6.8 perfectly. So the 6.8 go into it, and it's not going to fit in a standard AR-15. It's going to work only in the LWRC 6.8. Now, what you'll see me using quite often when I'm not in the field hunting is this 5-round magazine, which is just a trimmed down PMag. Magpul's not making these for LWRC. They're doing these in-house. They're chopping them down, making these 5-rounders, which are really handy because it allows you to get the rifle nice and close to the bench for zeroing. So this is a great range tool, you know, just to shoot the rifle, to get it zeroed. And this is what you're going to see me running in the field because obviously 30 rounds when you have a bunch of pigs running around is critical. Now, another thing that's changed is that this is my Zeus op mod that I picked up from Optics Planet. I've had this sight for coming up on a year now. I really enjoy this sight. It's awesome. It has great resolution. I have the ability to record, which is what this pouch is here. I can record video signals out. It has a 42mm lens, objective lens over here. Has full features, has, you know, a number of different color palettes, all that stuff, and the resolution's really good. The one thing that I wanted, though, when I was down with Todd, that I realized is that I need something that's weather sealed. This is not something you're going to stand in a torrential downpour with. It works great days like today, but if you know you're going to be out in really adverse conditions, you may want to step up, which is what I've done, to the Zeus Pro line. Here's the Zeus Pro. This thing is truly military grade, guys. Now, I've gone with the 100mm objective lens. This helps in detail and resolution, but it also has one downside, which is here's the focus ring. You have to turn this, and you really have to, if you want a really sharp picture, you have to focus it, and it has a very shallow depth of field, okay? So if something's at 50 yards, you have it zeroed for 50, and then you look at something at 40 yards, it's gonna be slightly out of focus. More so than with a smaller objective lens like I have on my Zeus. But the Pro gives me that weather sealing. It has 4 batteries versus 2, has more features. We'll delve into that. I'm actually going to have an Armasight guy come out with me, and we're going to delve into all the features of this sight and everything that it can do. Today, I just wanted to bring you guys along with me to zero my new Zeus Pro with my new 6.8 rifle from LWRC. Yes, guys, this is a very expensive rig, and I know that some of you guys are going to complain. You can certainly get into pig hunting for a lot less money. We're actually looking at Armasight to actually carry them at Copper. We're already an LWRC dealer. The 6.8 was a natural progression for me to give this rifle a try. So far, I'm very happy with the gun. The only problem that I've had previously was that I fired some Remington 115 grain ammunition in it. The primer popped out of its pocket, got up into the bolt cam pin section, and forced the rifle to malfunctioned in such a way I actually had to send it back to LWRC to get it unscrewed up. All right, so let's head over to the range. Let's get this thing zeroed at 40 yards. Then I'm gonna move a steel plate out into the woods, and we're gonna do a little bit of screwing around. And plus, we have a Christmas ornament out here we might practice doing some deer hunting with, even though thermal's not legal in most states for deer. Let's go to the range. All right, so I got some of this Hornady ammunition loaded up. This is the 120 grain SST. This is what I'll probably use while I'm hunting. It's about 18, 19 bucks a box, so it's not horribly expensive. It looks like this. And the velocity is really good on the 120 grain slug. Not quite 6.5 Grindle good. All right, so I'm kind of new to this recorder thing here. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get it recording. So right now you should be able to see what I see through the Zeus Pro. That target's only about 40 yards away down there. Now, what you're looking at is a cardboard target that just has a simple little pasty dot on it, one of these. All right, that size dot right there. And it has some bullet holes around it, which you can see the bullet holes clearly. This group that I'm pointing the crosshair at right now is the group I just shot with some 90 grain Federal stuff. Actually, no, you know what, that was the, yeah, that was the 90 grain Federal stuff. All right, so now you can actually see the center of that little pasty. You can actually see the diamond. All right, that's how much clarity this thermal has. Now I'm gonna fire around here, now watch, and you're gonna see the bullet hole appear in the cardboard. I think it appeared right there. Let me fire one more here. Yep, that was it right there, right where the crosshair was. So we were shooting without the suppressor, and it looked like it was pretty much on. Now it's grouping a little bit to the right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the weapon on safe. I wanna unscrew the suppressor here and see if the suppressor really is moving my point of impact that much. All right, take the rifle off safe here. And now I'm gonna aim at the center of that target again. All right, so there it is right there, right at the right corner edge. The little white dot is the bullet hole. The little white dot right there. All right, so it wasn't the suppressor. The ammunition is shooting a little bit to the right. So here, let me show you how I can quickly zero this out, all right? So I'm gonna go into the menu. I'll go down to bore sight. Select that. Oops, I hit enhancement. All right, go down to bore sight. All right, now my windage, it's hitting to the right, so I'm gonna actually move it to the right. It's a little bit opposite. See, it has a negative value of 11 right now. All right, we'll see how that does. Now, the nice thing about this, I'm gonna go ahead and load up a few more rounds. The cool thing about this is that you can stay in bore sight mode and keep shooting, and you don't have to keep going through the menu system. So, load another 5 rounds here. All right, now let's see if we can see our shots again. So it's still just to the right edge there. Huh. So let's come right some more. I think I went the wrong way. Maybe not. All right, here we go. There we go, see it right at the very bottom edge there? So it's pretty close to centered left or right. See that white dot again? Right on top of the last one. So it's grouping nicely. And once again, right there, just to the upper right edge of the crosshair there. And you can see the dot fade out as the heat dissipates. It's only about 40 degrees out here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the suppressor back on it. Didn't look like the suppressor was changing the point of impact all that much. It'll be a little bit easier if I do it this way, I suppose. And we'll load up another 5 rounds and just see how much that suppressor is changing my point of impact. Typically when I'm hunting, I'm going to go ahead and use it suppressed anyway. I'm not going to run it unsuppressed. There's no real reason to, but it's also nice to know where the gun shoots with and without a suppressor. All right, here we go again. Exact same spot, maybe a little to the right. Again, see it right there? All right, you can see it fade out. Yeah, see it right there? It'll fade out slowly. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring it to the right a little bit more because I do want to zero it for the suppressor. Let's see what that does. Yeah, see, let's bring it just about perfect left to right. All right, I think I got 1 round left here. All right. There you go, look at that. All right, perfect. You can see it slowly fade out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this menu. Here we go, cool. So I'm gonna turn the sight off. Now this thing does eat up batteries. All right, turn off my recorder here. Everything should be good. I can't get this thing to turn off. All right. Haven't quite figured this thing out. Power button doesn't seem to power it on and off very well. Sometimes it just wants to stay on. So this thing, unlike my other Zeus, this thing uses 4 batteries. The battery compartment's on the same side. This whole system is weather sealed. So this one can be out in the rain, all that good stuff, the elements, and it uses 4 123A batteries. Now what's also cool is it comes with an adapter. You have to, it increases the height, so you have to screw a ring into here that increases the height, and has a little caddy that you can set in there, and it will use AA batteries. So if you're out in the field and you can't find 123 batteries, you can find AA batteries at the most remote gas station in America. So if you need them, you can have them as long as you keep your little kit with you, which I plan to do, because these things do munch batteries. We already burned 1 set up. We start off with full power with 4 batteries, and I would say within 30 minutes or so, the batteries were dead. The sight just kind of shut off on me. So when you're not using them, you definitely want to turn them off or keep a whole bunch of batteries on hand. So this is what my pig setup would look like. I have my Savvy Sniper sling all set up on the gun with the QD mounts, and this is how I'd carry the rifle. I set a challenge steel target up out here, and you can see it right over there, just shy of 100 yards out. Now, the pigs where we hunt are going to be in brush, in crops, things like that, so they're going to be obscured somewhat. Right now we don't have a whole lot of foliage, even though it's spring. The trees obviously still haven't gone into bloom yet. But now you can see what I see through my thermal. I'm scanning, looking around, and right there is my steel target. Now that's kind of crazy looking, because you can see it's gray, about the same color as the tree right there where I'm scanning. When I fire a shot at it. I think I actually need to charge the rifle. Nope, had one in it. All right, so here we go. So bam, hit that steel plate. So you can see what I see through the scope and the steel plate. Now, this thing does have a very thin depth of field, And you can see what I see as I scan the woods out there. Right, there's trees right in front of me. You can see the detail of the trees out there. Fence posts, old building structure. But anything alive is really going to show up. Right now, white set is hot. Right, and there's my steel target again. Dang it. This thing is kind of heavy. I'm going to take a knee. So the 6.8 is not a light rifle. The Zeus Pro on top of it isn't a light setup either. So standing shots on pigs on the run are going to be quick. Todd, what he uses is basically a monopod, a stick that has a saddle on the top, and he'll walk in the field with that. And when he sets up to shoot a pig with the rifle, he'll set it on that monopod. It gives him some stability. And you can hit every single time. So walking around like this though, it's not so bad. You can also quickly use a tree as a hasty rest. Oops. You can see those 6.8s hit that steel plate with some serious authority. So we have our Bambi target set up down there, just an old Christmas ornament. It's all plastic, has a light in it, but obviously it's not turned on. There's no power out here. But it should be a different color on the thermal than the background, because the temperature is going to be quite a bit different than the trees and stuff that it's around. Also, I'm using some 90 grain Federal ammunition. What's kind of surprising is even though this 90 grain bullet's lighter than the 120 grain SSTs, it's still hitting at about the same point of impact, and the accuracy has been really good out of this thing. So I may pick up more of that. It's even more affordable than the Hornady stuff, so it's great for practice, and it probably, I'm going to test out on pigs, but it probably is pretty good for hunting as well. All right, so now I got Bambi in my crosshairs. You should be able to see what I see. You can see Bambi standing out pretty good. Now, of course, thermals are not legal in most states, if all states, for game animals, only predators, but that will not keep me from shooting fake Bambi. All right, now I am kneeling, so I'm gonna try to get a clean shot here. Right in the shoulder blades. You should be able to see the bullet holes. I can kind of see them. Let's go for a headshot on Bambi. Now, look at that. It's actually, this is hitting a little bit lower, but you can see the bullet's hitting actually in the neck. See those bullet holes, guys? You can see them right there. That's incredible detail for a thermal. Holy cow. Look at that. And they're staying there much longer. The plastic's holding that bullet heat a lot longer. Isn't that crazy? Man, I love this sight. So it does look like these 90 grainers are hitting just a little bit further to the right, but still pretty close point of impact. Definitely good for practice. So I'm gonna stick with the SSTs probably for hunting. So, man, this is really, really cool setup. Holy cow, I cannot wait to get this thing out to Texas. So Bambi has already been hit with other things like slugs, all right, and some larger caliber handgun loads here. Here's the 6.8 rounds. That's the Federal there. You can see the 6.8 rounds here, one hit here, over in here, all right? And how I know that those are the 6.8 rounds is because I'm gonna pop Bambi in the rear end here. So you can see the holes are the same size. So those were the 6.8s were hitting. 6.8s were hitting right here. Yeah, what the heck? Bambi, why are you still standing? Die. I hope you guys enjoyed coming out to the range for what is the maiden voyage for my new pig setup. Now they got my 6.8 all set up in terms of the way I like it. I have my BCM hand stop here. Pretty much everything else is factory on the 6.8. I have my Recce 7 30 caliber suppressor on the end, and of course the new Zeus Pro. And really, the only downside to hunting with the Zeus Pro that I can see is it's just a little bit big. But the trade-off is, as you guys can clearly see in the video footage, the resolution on this thing is absolutely stunning. The detail that it provides is absolutely unbelievable. I'm really looking forward to getting out into the field in Texas here really soon and do some hunting with the setup and see how it all works together. If you guys have any questions, you can ask those questions down below. I usually stick around for a couple of days answering the questions after the videos go live. Also, if you'd like to support the Military Arms channel, you can do that by shopping at Copper Custom. And you can find us online there at coppercustom.com. And if you haven't already, please check out full30.com. That's full30.com. We've taken all the web's best firearms content creators, brought them under one roof, and that is full30.com. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon.